been fully committed to this team, to the city, and it's just becoming a distraction, frustrating to deal with.
Well, just a few months removed from the playoffs where Brady Tkachuk at the very end said that he wanted to stay a Sen, Brady has now been traded to play with his brother Matthew in Florida. Dude, at this point, just fold the league. Like, what is even going on? How are they getting everyone? So in this video, we're going to talk about the trade, what both teams get out of this, and just talk about how Florida is becoming a behemoth and how the Atlantic Division is just going to be an absolute slaughterhouse next year. And if you're not trying to or potentially going to be very competitive next year, you should just fold the season at this point. But make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it. So to get the full context of this trade, we actually need to go back even further in the day to a trade between the Florida Panthers and the Seattle Kraken, where the Kraken acquire Mackie Samoskevich in exchange for the 25th overall pick and a second-round pick. A deal that at the time when it came out, I was like, this doesn't really make that much sense for Florida. Why are they just getting picks for a young guy that has been in their lineup and is arguably their best young player outside of Lundell? What the hell are they doing here? And also, why is Seattle trying to continue to be mid? I made a video on that a few weeks ago, and it's still the case. But I thought it was just a very odd decision. And now Florida has 2 first-round picks this year, one of them in the top 10. They're loading up on draft picks in a upcoming season where Barkov's going to be back. And if you're fully healthy, you are a Stanley Cup contender again. But sure, I guess restock the cupboards a bit. Until this tweet that dropped from Pierre LeBrun saying that the Florida Panthers are getting close to acquiring Brady Tkachuk from the Ottawa Senators. I believe Ottawa will get 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick if the deal is finalized. And then it was confirmed not too long after that the picks going to the Senators were the 9th overall selection this year, the 25th overall selection this year, a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2030 second-round pick. LeBron also saying that the Sens tried to get Lundell in this deal, but Florida did not want to trade him. But that is the trade. Nothing else here. It's Brady Tkachuk getting traded for 3 first-round picks, 2 of them in this year's draft, and a second-round pick. And I think we should start with the easy part. That is the Ottawa Senators. I bet you thought I was going to go Florida here, but no, that's a bigger discussion. I have to talk about Ottawa first because that is the easier one to talk about. They are trading a captain who, from the looks of it, did not want to re-sign with them when his contract comes up in 2028. Felt like this was a ticking time bomb, especially when there were media members talking about it with Brady at the end of this previous season, to the point where he had to hold a separate press conference to answer any doubts about his future in Ottawa. But it seemed like there was still something festering there at the very least. There seemed to be one side was saying one thing, one side was saying another thing, at least in the media, when in reality, behind the scenes, it seemed like it was a whole shit show. And judging by this trade, the Sens just did not want to deal with it anymore, and they wanted to get ahead of the curve and make a trade for their captain, and they did that. 3 first-round picks, I think, is very good value for Brady Tkachuk, who is a very, very good power forward, absolutely, first-line material, but he only has 2 years left on his deal. You try to get value now, and just to be honest, I don't think he's worth 3 first-rounders. It does help that nothing else is going the Sens' way besides the picks, but 3 first-rounders, in my opinion, is a lot. It's also important to note, this came out just as I was recording this, that the 2030 first-round pick, or the 2029 first-round pick, can't remember which one it was, is top 10 protected. So the Panthers aren't necessarily trading away their entire future here, but if it's not in the top 10, which it most likely won't be, it's 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick for the Sens. Now, they are losing their captain. That is a big hit to the team morale, and I think that locker room. But at the same time, it may end up benefiting them because of the drama that was around Brady and his future as a Senator. They still have Tim Stützle locked up. They've got a very, very good back end there. Jake Sanderson, Thomas Chabot. They've got a few young guys coming up, Tkachuk being one of them. Ullmark is a good goalie in my mind, just a bit inconsistent. But this is a team that can use those first-round picks to either draft and develop new upcoming players, or use them as trade pieces, which I think is more likely with at least the 2029 first round pick. But yeah, overall, I do not hate the return for the Senators whatsoever. You're trading a guy who wanted out already. You get 3 first round picks that you can just either draft or develop. And I don't think you're getting 3 first round picks for any other player on your roster that may want out. It's still a shitty situation, but you made the most of it, and I think that's a good thing for the Sens. Now on to the Vegas Golden Knights of the Eastern Conference. Look at this Florida lineup. Just the 1 through 9 almost on their forward group. Alexander Barkov, Matthew Tkachuk, Sam Reinhart, Brady Tkachuk, Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe, Brad Marchand, Anton Lundell. You have a forward group where you can put together a line of Sam Bennett centering Matthew and Brady Tkachuk. Or, if you really want to split it up, put Marchand on a line with one of the Tkachuks, and the other one can drive another line. You have a team where Anton Lundell, who the Panthers thought could be a 1C, is going to be playing on their third line. Carter Verhaeghe looks expendable at this point. Oh, and outside of Brady Tkachuk, they're all signed long-term. Just fantastic. The league loves to see that. I mean, the league probably loves to see that in terms of, like Gary Bettman and all them. But for the fans, no, we don't want this. No. This team is going to be an absolute monster for the next 2 years while Brady is under contract. And I bet you they're going to be able to re-sign him. And it's Florida. They can make it work. They'll find a way to move some salary off because a team's going to take a guy like Verhaeghe or Marchand when he's getting older. The only concern that I have with this team is that after this trade, they have about $7 million in cap space, and they don't have a goalie for next year. Bobrovsky is unsigned. He is 37 years old, heading into unrestricted free agency, and Daniil Tarasov is also an unrestricted free agent. Now, they could absolutely bring Bobrovsky back at a lower cap hit. That is absolutely something they can do, but at 37 years old, coming off of the season that he had, is he really worth it? But then at the same time, who is out there on the market that you can get? In terms of free agency alone, there isn't really any big names that are going to be difference makers. But with this type of lineup in front of them, all you need is someone to stop some pucks. And if you really want to just blow up the league with ideas of which players they can get, there is a certain goalie out of Winnipeg that may want out. As much as it pains me to say it, as a Jets fan, the idea of the Florida Panthers going out and acquiring Connor Hellebuck would be ridiculous. Now, you're telling me, well, they don't have a future. They don't have a first-round pick until 2030. How are they going to be able to make this work? And to that, I say, I think the value of goalies on the trade market is not as high. Yes, I know we're talking about Connor Hellebuck here, but trade value for goalies is just not that crazy. And if you trade a contract that makes the money work, like a Carter Verhaeghe, for example, and pair that with a second-round pick and maybe another prospect if they have one, it's absolutely possible that the Florida Panthers can just sell off their entire future for the next 3 to 4 years and just win as much as possible. The one concern that you may have as a Panthers fan is that the group is getting older and they're coming off of a season where a lot of them were injured. Is Barkov going to be the same? But at the same time, though, this is the exact same team that won 2 straight Stanley Cups, and now they have Brady Tkachuk in their lineup, and who knows what else they could bring in. The Atlantic Division is in trouble for the next 3 to 4 years because I think the Panthers are going to be absolutely running the show. Pair that with a Montreal team that made it to the Eastern Conference Final this year and looks to be a bona fide contender, if not now, in a couple of seasons. A Buffalo Sabres team that just came off a massive surge to win the Atlantic Division and looks like they're set up to be a playoff team for a while. The Tampa Bay Lightning, who just refuse to die. Boston maybe looking to compete. Detroit looking to compete. Toronto looking to compete. This Atlantic Division race in 2026-27 is going to be ridiculous. It is an absolute arms race in the Atlantic Division. I am so interested to see how this goes, but I think in my mind, it's very tough to not say that the Florida Panthers should absolutely be the favorites to win this division every year for the next 3 to 4 years. In fact, they should, in all likelihood, be the Stanley Cup favorite after this trade. Again, we have to see what else happens this offseason, but I am not putting past it that Florida could literally go out and get anything and anyone that they want. And all we can do as fans is just sit back and watch them take over the league. It is a dark, dark time to be a Canadian NHL team fan. And as a Jets fan myself, it's got me thinking, is Hellebuck the next guy to fall? If you're a Leafs fan, you're probably thinking, is Matthews the next guy to fall? It's a dark time for Canadian NHL teams. They seem to not be able to hold on to stars. But let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of the Brady Tkachuk trade? Do you like it for Florida? Do you like it for Ottawa? And is it even worth it to watch the NHL for the next 3 to 4 years if you're not a Florida Panthers fan? Let me know in the comment section below, but that is it for this one. I did hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.